Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today's lecture is about Rumi in India. Rumi in India and Pakistan is known as a pious lover of God, which means awliya, and a great Sufi poet. He is known as Rumi, but not as Mevlana. Since the word Mevlana was not in fashion, the Mevlevi order also didn't exist there. In the subcontinent, he is a pure lover of God with his best commentary of the Quran in Persian, known as Mathnawi, with 5,600 verses in the same meter, decorated with the fables taken from the Indian sources such as Kalila and Dimna. In addition, there are some elements of Greek and Roman literature that makes the work more international. In India, he is above physical show and music performances, known as Sama in Turkey. The impact of Khorasan school in India, let's have a quick look. The Seljuk Empire set scholarly centers in Balkh, Bukhara and Samarkand, from where the Sufi master went to India with the army of Mahmud of Ghazni. In India, we find great impact of Rumi on Punjabi and Urdu poets until the arrival of Muhammad Iqbal. His magnus opus, the Mathnawi, had arrived in India with the Sufi poet Fahruddin Iraqi, who was disciple of Sheikh Sadruddin Konavi in Konya at the time of Rumi. Actually, there were many Indian scholars around Rumi. In this way, a great relation was created by the Sufis of India and Turkey. I hope this relation will be further improved cultural ties between Pakistan, India and Turkey. In Turkey, after the end of the Ottoman era, Persian disappeared from the scene and Turkish Latin alphabet became in vogue. As a result, the real taste of Mathnawi in Persian also ended among people and even among scholars. It is true that the real flow of poetry is difficult to convert into another language. While in Pakistan and in some parts of India, Urdu is written in Arabic alphabet and is close to Persian, and so Mathnawi is a bit more understandable. For the deep respect of memory of Rumi, there stands 19 feet high and a beautiful gate at the entrance of Lucknow city with almost 2.5 million population. It was built in 1784 by the Lucknow governor Nawab Asadul Dawla at the time of Babur's last son. Beside the gate, Rumi's mystic impact is visible in almost all Urdu and Punjabi Sufi poetry. Below are some examples. Baba Farid Shakarganj. His verses addressing God have a bit similarity with Rumi. You are my love, you are my friend, you are my religion, you are my belief, you are my body, you are my soul, you are my Kaaba, my Qibla and mosque, and my niche for prayers. Ali Hajweri, Tata Ganj Bakhsh commentary on Sema. Sema is performed by the depth of the heart, and it is not based on unnatural feelings. The Sema that depends on shapes and show is far from being spiritual performance. It is essential to perform Sema in the presence of a spiritual master, Sheikh. Public should be kept out from the Sema performance. The musicians should show respect to the performing group. The performance should avoid their hearts from the worldly feelings and enjoyments. Since children may disturb attention, they should be kept out of the company. The Sufis should avoid extreme ecstasies, and the period of Sema should not surpass the proper time. It is clear from the above statements that Sema began centuries before Rumi. Rumi and Amir Khusro Dehlavi. Amir Khusro Dehlavi was a poet laureate of Kalach royal dynasty, Kalach, and great Persian poet of India with 5 divans of collections. Like Rumi's father, his grandfather had migrated from Balkh. The major topic of the Diwans is love of God. He is known to have invented musical instrument tabla and sitar. He lived at the time of Rumi, perhaps never saw his poetry, but the Khurasani Sufi elements bring them together. He speaks in the tone of Rumi and Yunus Amre. Dilam dar awshaki awo rashud awo ratar baudo tanam az bi dil bi chaw rashud bi chaw ratar baudo. My heart has gone roaming about in love. Let it be more like that. My heart has become helpless and weak. Let it be more like that. Mao ashik Mao ishq yar agar dar kubla garda tabatka ashikad dusra wa kufr iman kar neest. We and the love, be they in Kaaba or in temple, loving friends have little to do with infidelity or belief. And he says, Khudawand dao chujan do di dilam bakhsh dile ashik na jawni ghafilam bakhsh. God, since you have bestowed life on me, then give me a heart, the heart of a lover, but not the life of an ignorant person. The spiritual master of Nizamuddin Awliya Bukhara, the spiritual master of Khusrev was Nizamuddin Awliya from Bukhara. He joined Baba Farid at a young age. He was born at Badayun in 1236. Badayun had become a center of learning like Balkh. His work, Fawaidul Fawaid, is similar to Rumi's discourses, covering 34 debates. It discusses respect of Sufi sheikhs, good behavior, and likewise subjects. He migrated from Bukhara and was the most prominent Sufi figure of India. Like Shams, he guided Khusrev to the spiritual world. His teachings are collected under Fawaidul Fawaid, which covers debates. He uttered these lines in his 40th volume on poetry. One day in month of Ramadan, on Thursday, one of his students came to him and said, "Sir, I have finished my education and have begun to visit the palace so that I may get a good job." When the student left, the sheikh recited these verses. Shir dar vasfe hawl bas serai ast chun bekho khash rasid maskhara ast. Poetry is a good thing to disclose one's state of mood, but when it changes into egoistic desire, it becomes ridiculous. The student changed his education into personal interest, so he lost the taste. Story of Prophet Muhammad and a child in the 14th chapter of the same work. One day, Muhammad saw Hassan with other kids. He went to him and kissed. Which is the narrator, Amir Hassan, asked the sheikh, "There is a legend that Muhammad Prophet would make a sound of camels for Hassan and Hussein." The sheikh replied, "This legend is famous and well known." So this means that Muhammad loves children. Bulle Shah. Bulle Shah is one of the greatest Punjabi mystic poet of Punjab. He follows Rumi's path. It is perhaps because of him that Rumi has found strong foundation in Pakistan, Punjab. Here are some of his verses in Punjabi language. पढ़ पढ़ किताबां इल्म दियां तू नाम रख लिया काजी हथ विच फड़ के तलवार नाम रख लिया गाजी मक्के मदीने घूम आया ते नाम रख लिया हाजी ओ बुलिया हासिल की कीता जी तू रब ना कीता राजी. By reading books of knowledge, you call yourself Qadir. By holding sword in hand, you call yourself Mataya. You just visited Mecca and Medina and call yourself Haji? Oh, Bulle, what have you gained if you haven't made God happy? Dekh asmaan de uthde panchi, na o karde rizq zakhira, na o bhuke marde ne. Bande hi karde rizq zakhira, bande hi bhuke marde ne. See the birds flying in sky. They don't gather food. They don't die of hunger. Human beings collect food and yet they die of hunger. It is worth noticing that another writer in India, which is poet, Hub Muhammad Chishti, in 16th century, copied the story of Chinese painters from the Mathnawi of Rumi in his work in Urdu, Hub Tarang. And now let's talk about Kabir Das, interesting personality. One of the greatest Hindu poet, Kabir Das, of mid-15th century, has impact of Rumi in his teaching. He became a big sadhu or guru of India via his teaching. He is loved by the Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, and everybody. A few verses of his poetry will be enough to show that he has something common with Rumi. Tera tujhko na sompa, kya lage hai mera. I possess nothing, whatever I have belonged to you. Flowers bloom for fruits, and when fruits grow the flower, they fade away. So in this world we have a duty. When the duty is finished, we fade away, we go to become fruit. Sultan Bahu is another person which is very famous in the Punjab community, is the most popular God-loving man of Punjab. He is poet as well as a sheikh of the 17th century. His teachings are very much like that of Rumi. Adhi lanat dunya tain, sari dunya dara hu, rah sahib de kharch na kite, lekin ghazab diya mara hu. I will not read the whole, but the translation. Half accursed is this world. Half accursed is this world, and full accursed are those who love this world. Those who have not dedicated their lives to God shall suffer the unrelenting blows of destiny. Full of hate is this sly world. It can even prompt a father to kill his son. Bahu, those who have given up this world will enjoy the delight of the evergreen gardens. And now I switch on to Asadullah Khan Ghalib. Well, Asadullah Khan doesn't seem to, let me read it. His seat is among the best poets of Urdu. He is called the Shakespeare of Urdu language. He has written a replica to Rumi's first 18 verses, The Song of the Flute. He has increased the numbers of the verses from 18 to 50. He was born at Agra. His forefather also came from Central Asia, Samarkand. He rendered eulogy to the last issue of Babur, Sultan Zafar Shah. The second verse of the, I cannot read the whole replica, but only the second verse. Man nayam ke az khud hikayat mikunam, az dami marde rivayat mikunam. I am nobody to tell my tale, but I speak out of the mouth of the breath of a strong man, which is Rumi. Mevlana, finally we are coming to the most important lover of Rumi is Muhammad Iqbal. There is a deep link between Turkey, Pakistan, and the Muslims of India. Certainly, Rumi is a love bridge between them. As we know, Rumi passed away in 1273 and Muhammad Iqbal in 1938. There is a gap of 666 years, yet there is a fresh mystic link between them. The link takes us back to Ahmed Yasavi and Najmuddin Kubra, master of the Khorasan schools. Iqbal went to Europe for his postgraduate studies upon the advice of his teacher, Professor Arnold. He had a good chance to study Goethe, Henry Bergson, and Nietzsche philosophy. He found no real piece of art in them, as he says. Intellect taught me the teachings of the Western scholars, but these were the spiritual master of the East who enlightened my breast. Certainly, among the spiritual masters, Rumi is at the top of the list in India. The following verses prove that his love and respect cherished for Rumi. Baqaum khud digar aankuh na mei reis ke ba jaumash نیر زد ملک پرویز اشعار جلال الدین رومی به دیوار حریم دل بآویز. Pour out that old wine, the peck of which is more valuable than the empire of Jamshid. Hang Rumi's poems on the sacred wall of your heart. And he continues, Rumi undid the knots of the difficult task. He turned the dust of the pots into a medicine. He, with the melodious, clean voice of the flute, disclosed wantonness and secrets of love. Iqbal advises us to read Rumi's poetry so that our inside eyes may open. Your half-open eyes show you things wrong. Your body is still a secret for you. Your supplication is still unaware of real coquetry. You don't have real sense of standing in your prayers. The strings of your wires of life instrument is still broken because you fail to understand Rumi's songs. The mystic poetry of India, in Urdu and Pakistan, will keep us together. Rumi is at the top of the mountain, its crown, and that crown we have to love and live together. Thank you.